Helping Each Other project started in 2013. It was a project, a peer education project for people with learning disabilities concerned with sexual exploitation. In the early phases of the project, I recruited 2 training teams in Plymouth and North Devon, and then supported those teams to develop their own approach to peer training on sexual exploitation and delivering messages on sexual exploitation to other people with learning disabilities. During the process of developing those educational programs on sexual exploitation, the teams were unhappy with the existing resources that they viewed. They wanted resources that were more accessible to people with learning disabilities and resources that produce more positive messages about relationships for people. So they tried to produce these resources and approach the whole issue of sexual exploitation holistically, and that meant making much use of something that was called the ring of safety. This film contains interviews with team members about the ring of safety and invites them to consider their own lives in relation to different aspects of the ring of safety. The purpose of the film is to provoke discussions about what it is that keeps people safe and to help us to think about what we can all do to improve the lives of people with learning disabilities and to make them safer.
My name is Colin. I'm 27 years old and I'm going to be an uncle soon.
I've been teaching that down the hostel, explain and get all the staff, encourage them to know what exploitation is.
Can you tell us a bit about the project, Claire? What's the project for?
It's through awareness around keeping yourself safe. It's more to do with sexual exploitation, and we focus on positive relationships, and we also not being degraded, but some of the people with learning difficulties don't know what a relationship is, so we take a lot of emphasis on what a relationship is, because we think if you know what a relationship is and also what a good relationship is, then you'll know more about how to keep yourself safe. And we talk about how you know it's happening, what to do.
First of all, we were doing the safety net project, and then I started doing safeguarding, and then I went on to this group which is helping one of them, and that's helping stop sexual abuse and any other kind of abuse, because abuse comes in many forms. It's not just physical, it can be emotional, it can be all sorts. I can't explain it all now, but if you want to talk to me about it, you can. I live with 18 other residents, all with different kinds of needs. So, understandably, what disability is all about, I hope. And I've actually lived with cerebral palsy all my life. I've worked for the police the last 6 years, and I even went to the switchboard to find out how that works.
To this project, I bring a real life case situation, as you know, it happened to me. So I bring real life case, and I think that's very important when you're delivering the lesson, and especially with people with learning difficulties, I think somebody being in it, who's been through it, is a worthwhile thing, because then they're not so listening to just stories or books or texts or reading like that it's happened here or it's happened in the newspaper or news or this. They can see that someone's been through it, and that it's you can get over it. And I like to think I'm the prime example of coming through abuse. So that's why I like doing it, because I don't want it to happen to anybody else. And also if I had something like this when I was leaving school, I think I may have not been in the situation that I was in before.
What does that mean to you?
It means putting a bit of yourself into it, not just sitting there lecturing at people, actually putting some energy in, not just throwing fingers at people, actually putting a part of yourself. Because being a trainer, you do have to put a bit of yourself in it.
The work that the teams have done, both on the peer education and on the staff training they've been doing, has made much use of work done by a guy called Dave Hingsberger, called The Ring of Safety. David Hingsberger is a Canadian researcher who worked with people with learning disabilities on the issue of sexual abuse and sexual exploitation. But unusually, what Dave did was he worked with people who had not been abused and looked at what they had in common, and that led to the concept of the Ring of Safety.
I'm very confident about most things.
Do you think of yourself as a confident person?
I think I'm a confident person. I'm confident and bubbly and going out and trying new things, and I'm outgoing and like trying. I'm keen to go out and try new things.
What builds your confidence?
Family and friends. And life, really.
Does anything ever knock your confidence?
No, nothing knocks my confidence anyway.
What helps you feel more confident?
Just knowing that I'm helping other people.
Does anything knock your confidence, Sharon?
Well, sometimes I read it where people treat me stupid, not you, Rod, but people that don't. People treat me as if I don't know anything. That really knocks me. And when they don't let me make my own decisions and express myself in the way I want to.
As well, what does self-esteem mean to you?
It means being sure of yourself, being out there, being able to, I'd say this is who I am. If you don't like it, tough.
Do you have good self-esteem?
I would say for some people, too good.
Is there anything that knocks your self-esteem?
When people try and talk down to me, as if I just somebody in a wheelchair who doesn't know anything at all. Whereas if I didn't know anything, I wouldn't be here right now.
My right has always been about being confident in the right way. I also have a right to say when I speak. I also have a right to express my own opinion, even sometimes people that challenge that opinion. Yeah. And sometimes when people does challenge my opinion, I turn around and say, hang on, it is my opinion. If you want to accept it, that's fine. If you don't, that's life.
What does rights mean to you?
Right means so if you make a choice and somebody else thinks it's the wrong choice, they're allowed to tell you they think it's the wrong choice for a health and safety point, but at the end of the day, I say to people, it's my choice. Now let me do it and let me make the mistake or the decision.
I found out about my rights through all sorts of the different organisations. One through art, and the other one through I go around which I work at.
You're right, you have the right to say no, which I find very difficult to do, but I'm getting better. You have the right to your privacy. You have the right to live safe. You have the right to a good sex life and education. You have the right to choose the path in life you want. You have the right to live wherever you want, right to live live with who you want, and you have the right to actually be in a relationship with who you want, whether it's boy, boy, girl, girl, whatever. You have the right to do that. You have the right to choose your friends, choose what school, choose what work, choose. You have the right to literally choose what you do in respect of not breaking the law and not harming you or yourself, or other people.
How did you find out about your rights, Sharon?
Through you and the police. So it's all thank you to you guys.
Do you think you've ever had your rights taken away from you?
I think in the situation I live in, with me, sometimes that can happen, but I make sure it doesn't happen because I know my rights. I can turn around and say to someone, I know my rights. What you playing at?
I've done sex education, and it was absolutely, it helped me a lot.
How did it help you, Colin?
To have safe sex and then, well, condom if you need to.
Do you think it was useful?
Yeah.
Is there anything that could have been better about it, do you think?
The training,
The training. What was not good about it?
the videos.
Yeah? What was that with the videos?
They didn't show the bits and bobs and all that stuff.
Ah. So that wasn't very helpful.
No.
What else do you think could have helped?
I just think somebody to sit us down in a group and just explain a bit more. I think that's where society goes wrong because they don't take the time sometimes just to sit down and actually really listen.
When I was a young course, we talked about contraception, we talked about condoms and how to use them safely, and things like that, really.
Was it any good?
It's a rush. I was very educated.
Some people think that people with learning difficulties shouldn't have sex education or don't need sex education.
Well, they should. I have a disability. I have the right to learn sex education or no. You can have the right to say, I want to learn sex education safely. It's not up to their mums or carers. It's up to them. If they want to have good sex in school, safe sex teaching, they can if they want to.
In that way, we're the same as anybody else, because we got feelings, we got urges, we got emotions, so really we should all be treated as equal as we can be.
I think all people deserve to have sex education. Yeah. All people.
Why is it important to you?
Because you won't get sexually exploited.
To encourage them how to say no to if they want to do. If they say, "Oh, do you want to go in a car?" and say no. If they come and harass you, phone the police. Because it's not nice for people to exploit people with a learning difficulty and say no.
They should do. It's probably more important that they do, because as you're growing, I don't like saying this, normal sort of people, they have it in depth, obviously at school, but they also can engage in, and with their peers they can actually read books themselves or with their mum and actually learn that way as well, and they've got more capacity to learn, where people with learning disabilities, even though they can learn, sometimes they need a bit longer and in simple formats.
Did you do any education about relationships as well?
Yeah, it came into a relationship where who's in a relationship and stuff. It came into like you got a boyfriend or like relationships and how do you build a relationship and stuff.
What was that like?
Oh, it's alright. Because I'm in a relationship. I'm in a relationship at the moment with my boyfriend. So I've been out with him since 9 years. So
I found out about relationships because when I was at school, I had quite a few sort of short-term relationships. Nothing really serious, but just like you do when you're a kid. Just sort of have crushes.
Must have learned a little bit off school. Mainly, I think, from my mum and asking my mum. But also, this would make you laugh. My brother's 7 years younger than me, but he went to an all-boys school and secondary school, so he probably had it there. So he helped me as well. And I suppose I've just asked mum and dad questions. I really can't remember, but I remember, I suppose, just from conversations with my mum, really. Like I said, which is a bit unusual. My brother.
Do you think you were encouraged to have relationships?
No, I think it was sort of food on. But about 2 years ago now, I was about to get engaged. So they didn't love me at the very last minute. So nothing happened there. I got the engagement ring on my finger, but no further.
Do you think you've been encouraged to have girlfriends through your life?
No. No. I think there was more my doing than anybody else. Because I've got family that's been there and done that, to get engaged and get married. Sometimes I feel that I'm the odd one out. Sometimes. But sometimes I still forget that it's the age, and people think that I'm too young to settle down, but
Do you think that in your life you've been encouraged to have a girlfriend?
Yeah, sometimes, maybe not.
Maybe not.
I get them days. I just have a couple of bad days and then think, oh, I'm done.
Have other people supported you in wanting to have a girlfriend?
Yeah, no.
Has anybody ever tried to stand in your way?
Lots of people.
Like who?
Just like people talking.
What sort of things do they say?
Like people that said that I was nasty and all that stuff.
Do you have a girlfriend, Colin?
Yes, I do. She's younger than me, but she's taller than me. But that's all. A bit taller.
How's it going?
Alright.
Are you in a relationship now?
No way! I'm staying free and single, and helping you with this training.
You don't have a girlfriend at the moment then?
no. I wish I had, but I don't.
Do you find other people supportive of you in wanting to have a boyfriend?
Sometimes, some people, it depends like how they are with me, like if they're teachers or staff or mum or nan, or it depends who they are and what they are. With me.
Do you have opportunities to be alone with your girlfriend?
No. She's got a caretaker, someone that looks after her, so we don't have any time together. We were looking at maybe getting married, but it's not gone ahead yet. And she's still writing things down for it, and it's still not gone ahead.
But it might happen one day.
Yeah.
Do you like living on your own?
Yes, I love it. Freedom.
And privacy?
Yeah.
I have my own personal space. What I want to do, when I go home, I go home and I normally just chill out and listen to music. That's what I do.
How easy do you find it to say no?
Hard, but I can say no when if I need to.
I can't to do it sometimes. But on the flip side of that, and me as a competent person, I can do it when I think about it.
I say no all the time. Not every time.
Yeah. That's a good word to say. No.
What does it feel like to say no and not be listened to?
Oh, I hate it.
It feels like you're not worth anything really when you say no, and it feels like, well, I've said no, but you're still not taking it on board. So you know, you think, what's the point? No, obviously doesn't mean anything, and obviously you can't be important enough for them to stop when you're saying that word no. When it takes a lot out of people who are maybe vulnerable, or like me, or whoever who find it really challenging to say no. It takes a lot to say no, and then if they're not listened to, then it's going to be degrading, and they're not going to want to say no anymore because, you know, they've had the courage to say no, and they've been not listened to. So
Do you feel as though you have people in your life who really listen to you when you need to talk?
Yeah.
Who are they?
Mum and dad. Maybe your brother and sister.
There are people in my life that really do. I've just got a really good key worker that really does listen to me as a person. So that's handy.
Most of the time, yes. Sometimes, no. But considering the type of guy I am, I do have to accept some things.
My mum and my dad.
Mum and Nan listen to me, some of the stuff at home and some of the stuff at college.
How does that feel, not to be listened to?
It just feels like locking myself in a dark room.
It's the most frustrating thing on the planet, because if somebody asked me to listen to them, I might butt in, but I'll apologise and I'll say no, I'll listen. And because I try and listen to people, I think I should get the same back. But I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm just saying that those things that people don't think about are really important to me.